Hey there everyone. This is going to be the level 2 word video. So we're going to start out things a little bit differently today. Today we are going to first make a fake document from this website called Scigen. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to want to put in a couple of authors. You're going to want to be one of the authors. So I'm going to have me as an author here. And I'm also going to make Dr. Olson an author and Dr. Morgan. And now we're going to want to generate this paper. There we go. And now I have this wonderful paper about enabling scatter, gather, I/O, and SMPs with SICA. So yeah, we're going to want to highlight all of that, the entire thing, which is just Control A, and then copy it all to a clipboard, which is Control C. Next, we're actually going to want to create a directory to save everything in. I'm going to want to save mine in my Documents section. New folder. And I'm going to want to name this fake research paper. Might be nice if I spelled things correctly. Alright, and then we're going to want to right click this page here and just save as. It's going to save the entire page, and I'm going to save it in that directory that I just made, in that folder. Alright, it just saves the entire HTML page that we've just created. Then we're going to paste all of the stuff that we copied earlier into just Notepad or any other simple text editor. And that's going to essentially strip out all of the formatting that the research generator put in there on its own. Notepad's really good for that. Basically, you just need any text, like simple text editor, that'll strip all of the formatting from it. If it doesn't do it automatically, there's usually somewhere in the format or edit buttons that'll allow you to switch it into plain text, which will also just strip out any of that extra formatting. Alright, so now we're going to want to shift it from this Notepad document into an actual Word document where we're going to start maneuvering some stuff around. So I'm going to open up Word here, select the blank document like normal, and then we're just going to Control A for select all, and then Control C for copy it, and then Control V for paste again. Alright, and it has all of this stuff, you know, about going back to the Scigen and downloading stuff. We don't want any of that, we just want the title and the authors and from there on out, so we're just going to highlight all of that unnecessary stuff and delete it out of there. So now what we're going to do is change how it looks, but instead of how we did it in the first lesson, we're going to use styles. In the first lesson, we just changed it directly using bolding and underline and changing the font size and kind of brute forcing it and making it look the way we want it. In this case, we're going to do some, we're going to use some built-in styles that change things like the font, the color, the size, all of that stuff on its own. So first we're going to highlight the stuff we want to change, and the first thing we're going to want to change here is the title. And then these are our styles right here. You can just go through these, you can go down like that, or you can hit that little down arrow and it'll make it a little bit easier to see here. And you can just kind of hover over some of them to see what we want. But we're going to use this title one. It's the same one that the written tutorial uses, and I just think it's nice because it's bigger and bold. You, of course, do not have to use the same styles that I am using. And then we're also going to want to change those authors to something to look a little bit nicer. And I kind of just like the subtle reference one. Again, you don't have to use the same ones I'm using. I know that the subtle reference one is not the one used in the written version of this. So again, you can choose whatever you want. And then the next part we're going to do is this abstract here. And I actually like heading 1. And then for now, we are just going to delete the table of contents. We don't want that in there at the moment. So just highlight it and delete it. Okay, and now we're going to want to go along and just match the styles to everything else. So we had that one as heading 1. So all these other beginning of sections is going to be heading 1. So just go through and change all the different sections so that they match and they look nice. And then anything that has this 0.1 or 0.2 or point number after it, that's a subsection of the previous one. So it's a level down. So instead of using heading 1 for those, we're going to use heading 2 because it's a step down and not quite as big. Now we're going to want to go through and actually add those images back in, because when we put it in the Notepad document, it can't see the images. So it just kind of took them all out and put in the name of the picture where the picture should go. So we need to go and find those, and those should be saved in a subdirectory where we saved the entire web page earlier. Insert, that's what I wanted to do. Go to pictures, my bad. And then we're going to go to there and navigate to that that folder where you had saved it and go into its subdirectory. And luckily, thanks to the fact that it saved the name of the picture, when we saved it, we know exactly which pictures to put in there. And so you can just easily add all of those pictures back in. And so just go in and insert all of those pictures that Notepad took out. Alright, now all those pictures are back in where they were supposed to be. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to add a caption to this. So we're going to click on that, or we're going to click on the picture, and under the References tab, click on Insert Caption here. And we're going to want to fill in all of this information here. And I'm actually going to use this stuff provided here for our captions. So once again, picture, references, insert caption, and then just fill in all the information that it wants. Okay. And then we don't need that other one. Alright, and now it's there as a caption. So once again, we're going to just go through and do that for all of the pictures in the document here. An added bonus of doing it this way is when you would have had ones that would have put this caption on another page if you were just doing it as regular text, because you've actually connected it with that picture, it then takes the entire picture and puts it on the other page with it, so that they're not awkwardly broken up with having the picture at the bottom of the page and then the caption explaining the picture on the top of another page, because that wouldn't really make sense. Alright, and so now we have all of those as captions with our pictures. So now, if we scroll down to the end here, we're going to have the references section. And we actually want to use our own, essentially. So using this information, we are going to construct our own citation, and then we're going to delete that one. So first we're going to want to insert a citation, add new source. and you can just look right there for all of the information that you're going to get. And that's all the information that we actually have from that reference. So once you've got all that in there, you just hit OK. Oh, and it just added that into there as a source, so then you can click on it and add it. And then we're gonna want to add the second one. So now we have all of that information in there. We're just gonna go OK. And see, it puts it in that way. And that's not really what we want, that's more of an in-text citation. And we're just gonna wanna do this process for the first 4 of them. And you're actually going to want to go through and change the in-text citations for all of these. So right now they're referenced by just a bracketed number in the document. I'll show that next, how to do that after I finish adding all the sources. Now to finish up with this one, to find that, just Control F it. That's fine. And so you see we had a reference to it here. So instead of that 3, we're going to want to insert citation and then just click the one for the corresponding one. And that'll add an in-text citation the way it's supposed to be right there. And I think that was the only one in there. And so now let's add in our last source right here, and you can just add in that last one there, and then we can go and find any reference to that 4th reference, which doesn't look like there actually are any. What we're going to want to do is just everything after this 6th page there, let's just get rid of it. We don't want it. We're going to go back and do our own later anyway. So just get rid of everything. And then we're going to want to make sure that we just get rid of any other references in there that we don't want. So basically the way to find that is anything that starts in one of those square brackets is going to be one of those references. So just get rid of all of them. Not every single one of them is that, however, so be careful. Simply the ones that were specifically the brackets surrounded, or a number surrounded by the brackets. Alright, so once you've got that all done, we just have a couple of things that we want to finish up here. First things first, we're going to want to add a bibliography to the end of the thing, or of the document, which is essentially the thing that we took out before, but now we want to add our own with the references that we've created. So because we inserted all of these sources, it knows about them. So you can just hit bibliography, and we want the bibliography one. So just click on bibliography, and it puts all that in right there for you. Using the 4 sources that you input earlier. And then we're going to want to add or maneuver to right underneath the abstract section. And we are going to want to insert our own table of contents. And to do that, you can just hit this table of contents button and choose which style of table of contents you want. I kind of like this one here. And if you go to check it, it has all those things that we had in it before, and it's all based on the heading style that we used. So those things that we used, you can see the 1, 2, 3, those are all heading 1s. And then these ones were heading 2, so they automatically go indented in from that 5 there. So that's a really, really nice, handy way of doing things. And it's nice that they have that functionality built into it. And just to play around with things a little bit, if you go down to to the bibliography bit that you did earlier, you can just kind of click on it, and if you change the style here, from APA to Chicago, or to Harvard, like you can see how it'll change that to the different styles. So that's really nice. Like if you're writing a paper in English, you'll probably use MLA. If you're using or writing a history paper, you'll probably use Chicago. So that's kind of fun that it'll automatically restructure those for you, and you don't really need to worry about it. And then there's some nice handy features that if you go into the design, there are actual like themes here. So if you choose various themes, it'll actually restructure your entire document to work with that new theme. And there's also one last thing you can do with this from here. You can add a watermark to your page. So if you want it to be confidential or you do not want people to copy it, it'll add this watermark to your page. And it'll just appear on each page, and it'll mark it. And so those are some fun little features to play around with, to have fun creating your fake document. And that's all I got for you today. So have a great day and enjoy playing with Word.